Who's there behind that mask? Smiles and tears forgotten in the past. But I don't care who you want to be, but show yourself, show them how you feel.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
5 seconds remaining.
We're here for game number 3, Execration versus Geek Fam. Geek Fam won game number 1 in quite an explosive fashion here, just got 2 kills, then I ran them down with the Drow Medusa strat and top of a tiny. Execration, well, came back in game number 2 with a very solid performance, as we would expect from them coming in as the favorites here into this particular matchup against the open qualifier team. But now, new draft, new opportunity for both of these to punch their tickets and continue on in the upper bracket of this double elimination bracket. My name is DragonDrop, still joined by Mr. V. Welcome back.
I'm still here, I'm just snacking and having my tea, which is vitally important here.
That explains the sounds I keep hearing, and I'm kind of jealous, to be quite honest. I haven't had breakfast yet, and it's 3 o'clock. Rip.
Hey, it's 6 AM for me, and I haven't gone to bed yet, so you know how it is. Alright, we got some flex picks coming out here. We have seen Silencer run his core and his support, and we've seen the same with Venge. Wyvern we've seen in the offlane. Night Stalker is clearly either roaming or offlane as well. And I kind of like Execration's response to this Vengeful Spirit Silencer pick in the Night Stalker. Night Stalker applies a lot of pressure and kind of forces these small scrimmages and ganking style plays that don't really lend themselves well to Silencer doing a big global and spending a long cooldown ultimate. So kind of like the direction Execration's going so far.
Well, that Night Stalker has always been a staple, even in 706, and it hasn't really stopped in 707. That's also one of the reasons why the Beastmaster keeps being banned out or picked up in the first phase. Just having that vision on your side can win you teamfights and can win you games in the right circumstances. So, Geek Fam,
turn to ban.
Silence of Vengeful Spirits. Where to go from here? Do you even try and go back to some of the other strats to try and make it?
You could. But Drow into Wyvern is not too fun.
10 seconds remaining.
Just by the nature of Cold Embrace. And also you're very like physical damage reliant at this point with Venge and Drow in that lineup Winter's Curse is potentially like fatal if you have like a bad swap or people are mispositioned, which often happens in these fights with Vengeful Spirit in them. So I'm not sure if Geek Fam want to go for that draw as well. But knowing their playstyle, they may just go for like their offlane pick right now. Something safe, something that will apply pressure into the Wyvern. Maybe something like Darkseer, but I don't think Darkseer is the best for sub-roaming Night Stalker.
Really fit into what they have already. If you go for the Knights for the Darkseer, it can be extremely powerful, but it only really works if the enemy has a team that can be exploited by that, like say a couple of melee heroes that are forced to bunch up eventually, who can make good use of the vacuum into whatever combos you have. And you really have to draft around it in a way where you have multiple puzzle pieces that can work together, so that you don't have just vacuum crush and nothing else, because if you then find yourself in a situation where you don't have that available, then you have nothing, right? And that's the trap that sometimes these kind of drafts fall into. And with Vengeance Silence already, you have nothing even to follow up with that at all. So
it's more of a laning focused pick where you apply pressure to that lane with that Iron Shell, and then you enable your Vengeful Spirit and Silencer to really dominate their lanes. It may not necessarily be that every pick gets picked for these team fight situations, but I agree with this over pick.
I don't necessarily think that just picking a hero for the laning phase is the game-winning strategy in most circumstances. Unless you really have some heavy snowballing heroes that can take advantage of that.
I think it's true to some extent, but like you have to have some semblance of lane control and dominance, and like when you're in these drafting situations where you may not necessarily have an understanding of what these team wants to do with their draft, you just kind of go through your ideas about, hey, like we've got Venge Silencer. Silencer fairly defensive if he's in that support role. Even in the core role, he's also fairly like immobile and doesn't offer a whole lot in terms of kill potential. So where can we make it so that we add this pressure onto the map? And they kind of responded with that dynamic with the Ogre. Okay, we're going to take Ogre and run people down. They've ran Tiny in the offlane before. They know how to kind of do those kind of cheeky pulls with the toss combo. And so I anticipate now we're going to be looking at the mid pick for Geek Fam. And this is do or die. Well, not do or die, but you know, this is their upper bracket match and they want to win. And Geek Fam have the last pick, so maybe they have something in mind in terms of what they want to do with that last mid pick to really kind of bring their draft together and take it in a direction that Execration may or may not be prepared for.
Yep. That is the question. They've done it in the one to some extent, right? With that draw pick. Maybe not entirely expected. I know Tiny for now making a reappearance, as well as the Dragon Knights. So Execration, they've got that and the Undying, and the Night Stalker, and the Water Wyvern. So it's very sturdy, very hard to actually kill. And if you don't kill them initially, then the Tombstone zombies are starting to stack up. You're gonna have a lot of time with the squishy heroes that you have, trying to sustain into that. So what's the hero for Geek Fam now to solve that issue? Question.
I was thinking they could do something like Invoker. Like they have decent control with Ogre and Venge and just like the Silencer ultimate. I think that's a fairly good response to Wyvern as well, and a good pairing of physical and magical damage. Another option would be OD for them. But they would just have to play carefully around the Night Stalker. Coming from Execration here, though, in terms of their pick, looking for a safe lane core, maybe Chaos Knight. There isn't a whole lot of good illusion clear right now. Is it banned out or no? No, for a Jug.
Very safe, very solid. Alright. Poker could work. Something with burst, I want to say. Some magical burst.
10 seconds remaining.
That's the one thing that they're missing to really try and put some of these heroes over the edge. Because again, Juggernaut fits into the same idea. With the healing ward, you have sustain, you have ability just to take long team fights. And Geek Fam, they have, as I said, they have a lot of control. They have some minus armor to work with and whatnot. But they really lacked this magical or pure burst damage, and Timbersaw should be able to provide that if he gets off the ground.
Versus these 3 strength melee heroes, so
Yeah.
it's a lot. You do have to be a little bit careful about the tombstone, but Timbersaw, like, who's going to hit the tombstone?
Really?
Like, no one, really, right?
Yeah.
Like, unless they all really get on top of it, it's not going to be the easiest thing for Geek Fam to deal with. But Timbersaw doesn't care about a tombstone.
He can have
like,
20, he can have all the zombies in the world on him, and he's just happy about that, because it'll make sure that in these team fights, your reactive armor keeps being stacked up.
Yeah.
Because they do trigger that, right?
I believe so.
Anything else wouldn't really make sense, because they are, at the end of the day, normal right clicks.
They are zombies attempting to auto-attack you.
Yeah.
As we move to the game, and
Prepare for battle.
I don't have control of my camera.
Because you watch a replay, you have to restart Dota.
Interesting.
It's a bug, guys. We're still in beta. Both teams, though, you better be quick, because both teams this time around, they're walking through the same kind of area of the map. Lume continues to taunt forward from the sun dying. Ready for the hip-hop zombie battle. We've come in a good position, though. They're holding on the high ground for the time being in Execration. They're the ones going into them right now, and they have no idea. Lumic, well, that's a value arcane curse. Hits on 3 heroes. There's a lot of damage being done, but there's also a value decay. Hits it on only 2. It'll look like more, actually. But yeah, it looks like both teams will just punch each other a little bit and then walk to separate ways.
Meanwhile, Night Stalker's like,
yeah.
hey, guys, I might get 2 runes. Stop, defend your high ground, and I'll get both.
No one can TP for 30 seconds, so yeah, no one's making their way there either. So either they contest bottom or they're gonna give up 3 runes. Yeah, they're gonna contest.
I think Geek Fam knows that they don't want to contest. Good insight by them.
Yep.
And especially with Wyvern's Arctic Burn being down, there's not a whole lot of opportunity for them to contest. RR is going to pull the creep wave here, though. Any TPs going top lane soon? Guess it'll be Venge,
just
right?
now, so double TP Venge, well Silencer, onto the shrine.
They're anticipating this.
And they will be happy now that this is exactly what's happening. His Night Stalker is still fairly tanky, does have the stout shield, and a lot of armor and health points, so they're just holding onto the stun for as long as they can. Go for the body blocks, into the right clicks, into everything that they can to maximize the damage output that they have. And if they have a little bit more, yeah, it should be the first blood. Maybe not with a fairy fire.
Why turn around?
Oh, I know exactly what happened there. You know when you just trying to scramble, you keep right-clicking in the bottom left corner. Then you hit the mini-map and you turn around. That's the pathing. That's
these people with their mini-maps in the bottom left-hand corner.
Oh yeah, right, you have it on the other side, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Because I did that like 6 times in a row, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
This is the next level strat to deal with that. Alright, so talk about his middle lane, because Timbersaw, generally speaking, very tanky with reactive armor, but if you only have 440 health points, because decay just brings you down. How effective is that going to be?
It's okay. You also regen more effectively with less strength as well.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
And like doing 400 damage in this kind of like level 2, level 3 situation, very unlikely, as Ollie kind of forced back here. He will cancel Clarity, I believe, with the Fire Blast or Ignite.
Oh, he keeps doing it. Keeps taunting as well, which is tilting me to no end.
Rod, why are you blocking top? Is going to secure the bounty? He gets it too.
As a support, it's so infuriating if that happens. Same for Ollie, he'll also find his own Bunny Storm. Hit your potato on the money with that, so... I like how these dynamics shape up these days.
Did Tiny intentionally block this hard camp when he's been using it to pull lanes?
I'm not sure. Otherwise, you would put the ward a little bit further to the right, right? So just keep an eye on this offering this. But yeah. Spinning
Good
it down
damage
actually.
and slow.
Yeah. Is he dead here? Let's have the toss available. There it is. One more right clicks. You can throw this tree if he wants to. There it is. Body will take over for a while. He's doing too much on tangos. Does have a few stick charges to work with. The bass on level 1.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, James has actually been doing very well versus Timber. He's got about a wave worth of last hits over top of the Timber Saw, which I don't think should be happening, but Timber is definitely not going to die anytime soon without additional rotations or misplays. Top lane, this Undying is getting low.
Play hard. Well though, and yeah, well it's Undying. Due to his name right now, but last right click from something following him, yeah, from Skimblue. Finds that across the trees. We'll trade 1 for 1, and considering that the strength of the Undying in exactly these type of situations, that's actually quite impressive. Now RR, gonna be harassed out. He should be able to survive this one though.
Yeah. The Silencer does go down before he gets the int off from the Undying Death though. So no int for the Silencer on that, just the int from the First Blood.
Oh, Twitch chat never change. Clicking minimap in 2017. Feels bad, man.
I'm panicking. I'm panicking.
Alright, so Geek Fam up to a decent start up top, middle lane. Well, James continuing to style right over John. Can secure some CS here with the word Def, and it's starting to affect the Dragon Knight as well. His own Dragon's going to beat him. It's forced to TP back to base, and it's not something that's supposed to happen here for Dragon Knight, generally speaking.
With the Arcane Rune
on top lane here, Tombstone is down. They get rid of it. Scambaloo is dropping very, very low and will be falling. RR, well, the target of that Ignite. Lumic continuing to fight here together with RR. Nightstalker coming back in and want to play hard. Already down 8 decay stacks. One more right click. There it is. RR will fall, but once again without losing intelligence. So space created. Mima down bottom. What? They dove very hard to the Tiny by the looks of it. How did that?
Doing?
I don't even know. I think it was trying to spin. The spin expired, maybe.
No. I think he just got the toss off on that last auto attack and prevented it from happening. And in turn, Juggernaut just takes too many tower shots. Gabby overstepping his bounds. That should not happen. You should not die solo to the enemy off lane.
It's a bit of a tactical tumble.
Maybe he clicked on his mini map as well.
So where does it leave us now?
Geek Fam's doing alright. They have to be slightly concerned about their Vengeful Spirit because Venge is really their main tower pusher. Tiny does offer a little bit in terms of getting these towers down with the tree grab, but apart from that, they're really reliant on Venge to take down these towers. Maybe get up something like a Deso or just maybe build up that Agi. Because Timber can tank the waves, but isn't the best tower pusher.
It's also nighttime, level 5 on our 3 points up in the void, just for going to silence here in this game. So don't really want to gank the Timber Saw, it's not really worth it, so instead just have that extra nuke to work with.
Now I saw this discussion on Reddit with the Void Mini Sun. I believe it's still working during nighttime at least. So you have a swap out.
Swap out, stun onto Undying, they have to try and... Okay. Relax by... Into Rage Potato! You go! You fight! No pussy! Get into this, he has no damage against you. RR, he does though. He gets the nukes off. Also Tombstone somewhere in the low ground. Xion will take care of that.
Sanser, are you gonna help out your buddy?
You want to bring down this Tiny. Slow him down one more time with a decay. Nice little avalanche though. Juan is there. Another toss back onto R. Not quite enough damage. Oh, there it is. The breathe fire. The raindrops not enough to save him from that one.
Close play there. I think Geek is or Geek Fam is benefiting from this because it's giving the Vengeful Spirit a lot of space, and Gabby going down there Again, these are two unnecessary. And he spins instead of on me slashing. Even so, you're guaranteed at least one more slash.
Yep.
Which does 200 damage, which was about the HP that Venge got away. Then you do miss out on the spin damage as well.
Very hard to make that call, I think.
Sufficiently tilted that I would go for the Omni Slash.
Gun. 2 reactive armor stacks, that'll keep him alive. James just wants to shoot him out of the lane for a while to get a couple of extra right clicks off on the tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Gonna make leverage DK strength, but he's starting to struggle a little bit up against Timbersaw. He doesn't care about losing his strength, but Dragon Knight certainly does.
Yeah. Again, we do see the efficiency of base health regen. You just gain a larger percentage back eventually.
Yep.
But in this case, Schwan is caught up with CS. They're about dead even. Now he's just going to turn around and start pressuring. Saw. He's got 34 armor. That's 63% physical resistance. Like even with Omni Slash,
it's just a timing where you cannot touch this hero unless you have like some poor Skywrath or something with level 6, 7, 8 something in the Kaya. It's like you need some heavy magical damage. These nukes also breathe fire, but it's not going to be enough to bring him down quickly. Meanwhile, up top, go on Lumi. He does have the Tombstone to work with. He wants to throw it out, but he's being silenced now. Away instead, and okay, turning around for another one. The Arcane Crow should not take him out. Ollie with the TP out will be successful. Now the stun out to RR, trying to bring him down to swap out of the Omni Slash. They got two slashes off, and now the spin to finish off. One thus far. James looking for more, but has a lot of mana to work with if he wants to between the stick and the soul rings, but doesn't have to go for it. Top tier 1
Meanwhile,
has fallen in middle lane.
Yep. This is how he plays it. He just like tanks up the creep waves with the catapult and lets the catapult do the work. And Tiny bottom, he's got tossed to deal damage to the tower. There's a lot of fighting going on this top lane, but who is still farming the map? And it's Timber and Tiny, which you don't really want to let farm if you're trading evenly in these fights. You either want to crush the fights or be getting more out of the map. How's the stream looking? Are we alive?
We're live, yeah, for 4.5 minutes right now.
For now?
Yep. All good.
As we have bottom.
Oh god.
Down.
I blame you for this T-Tours.
The T-Tours?
Okay, the fight actually continues. See a couple of stunts back and forth here with James also coming through. March picks up another. Try and use as he pleases, but Ollie looks like he will be the target. But bought enough time for John to come back in, follow up stun. Bring down a Night Stalker. Now perhaps looking for more James. He can turn things around onto the Tiny for a little bit, but now there it is. The Winter's Curse, that's what they were waiting on. They're gonna lose eventual spirit to that. That's a big deal. James still taking out to the Arcane Curse, and Chuan, he wants some revenge, and he'll get it with that chakra and play hard in the middle of it too, so starting to stack up intelligence. Plus 10 in total now.
Do you think Silence from Venge if he kills her during Arctic Curse?
Absolutely, right. I mean, it's down to the Venge, just proving to be stupid because she got called out, so you should lose intelligence, right? That's how it works.
I agree.
Silencer, well, lose some intelligence as well. That'd be fun if you could regain like 2 of your intelligence to kill Silencer.
I definitely agree with that idea. I think
not like steal as he does, but regain if you lost some.
Yeah. Would you steal it back though, or would you just gain yours back?
Steal it back, I guess.
Okay. As we have Raging Wyvern.
Drop down pretty low to the combo, and then bought himself a little bit of time with the Cold Embrace, but then a tree toss to catch up with them.
Yep. It's only fire dragons that are good versus trees. These ice ones suck for Slim.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to get really, really cold.
Lane. Going for the Bloodstone build? I think this is fine. He did very well with it last time, as he's just aggressively jumping in here. He doesn't care. There's nothing for him to really be super concerned about, unless they rotate like 4 or 5.
Keep the reactive armor stacks up, but no creeper coming in. We'll take care of that soon. Now they're okay. There was a hero there for like a second. Now they should be able to bring down the tower, right? Meanwhile, mid though. Look for some trades, perhaps. Signs up on the silencer.
Global is up.
Oh, doesn't actually. Geek Fam, turn things around. Get the Undying. They're gonna get the Tombstone too. Another turn to swap back. They're looking for more. They're looking to find James. Another toss back into the tower. Into not extra control for Molly because he doesn't have it, but March provides himself 4 heroes in the middle of that. 3 die up there. That's no 2 die. R gets out somehow. Might as well. 200 gold at this point. And he's maxed out.
Gabby getting a lot of good farm from this stack here though. Spins down a double stack and a creep wave. He really needs to recover. How's he doing in? He's below the Venge, but Timber and Tiny are actually on top of the network charts.
Yep. I'm having an exceptional game. Execration, because with the Undying and the Night Stalker, I mean, aren't they supposed to be the ones ahead of the station again?
Most definitely. They need to taunt more on the Undying to trigger the enemy team into taking bad. Meanwhile, bottom, Wyvern goes down to the tree combo again.
Well, that's why we need to save the trees, because without trees, Tiny wouldn't be able to do that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
No?
Meanwhile, Timber's just tanking this tower and
still
just doesn't
16 minutes
care.
in. Yeah, he really doesn't. 20 stacks are more than enough. Even through the spin. That for a while. The Avalanche will still connect onto Gabby. He does have the Omnislash available, but he cannot get it off. The Global Silence to give them that covering fire just in case. And Lumic, well, can throw down a Tombstone, but what does it really do at this point? Just gonna get right down what you want. It's starting to drop a little bit lower now than he would maybe like. The toss back again! Game 1? Was it game 1? Was it? Yeah, it was game 1 too on March, wasn't it? Or was it the early series? I'm not sure, but yeah.
Got the
Timber Chain TP.
Oh,
just out of range. Whew.
This is some fighting without their carry Venge, mind you, or their support silencer being there. This is
just moral support. And at least for Silencer, you have the Global Silence to work with. That definitely helped out and make sure that the